Hi, I'm Dusty with Magnum Bikes Product Support, and I'm going to show you how to build our new Cosmo 2.0. As you can see, coming in the brightest colors that we've ever offered, and really about 90% assembled. You can see the bikes behind me have some zip ties and some tape. Make sure and cut those and get your bike all unpackaged, and then you should have a front wheel, a fender, your pedals, and your handlebar will be disconnected like this. And then you'll also have your charger. You may or may not have a toolkit with your bike. If yours doesn't come with one, reach out to our support team and we'll send you one for free. You'll need some metric Allen wrenches in a 4 and a 5 millimeter for the most part, and then a 15 millimeter wrench or crescent wrench adjustable wrench for the front axle nuts. Make sure that your battery is showing a little bit of life when you first get your bike out of the box, and take note of any scratches or dents or any damage. If your bike is damaged, reach out to our support team and we can get you a replacement bike or replacement parts if needed. I've removed all my packaging. I'm going to start by installing the handlebar. You'll need a 5 millimeter Allen to loosen the bolts on the faceplate of the stem here. The stem will already be on the bike. And we're just going to loosen all 4 of these. Now, a little known trick, the Magnum display actually slides off of the mount. So if you give it a little bump up, it can slide off, and that will give you a little bit better access to the faceplate bolts for your handlebar. It can be a little awkward with the 4 bolts, so I like to actually start with 2 diagonal from each other. And I'll just get those kind of hand tight and then start with the rest of them. It's important to note here that you don't want to force any threads, and really don't force anything on your bike. If it doesn't seem straight or it's harder than it should be, back it up and make sure that the threads are securing tightly. Now, you don't need to tighten these faceplate bolts too tight until you get the bike on the ground. I like to wait so that I can make sure my handlebar is right where I want it when I'm on the bike. You want to make sure that they're just slightly tight and pretty even all the way around. And then let's slide our display back on to the mounting bracket. Next, we're going to install our fender, then our front wheel. You'll need your 5 millimeter Allen once more. We're going to loosen the bolt on the back of the brake arch of your Sun Tour fork. Then the bracket on the fender is going to go right there, and reinstall your bolt. Next, we'll install these eyelets onto the brackets on the fork lowers. For this step, you'll need a 4 millimeter Allen to loosen these bolts. Make sure when installing the eyelet that the bolt has your washer on it as well, and reinstall that on each side. Careful not to over tighten, as the eyelet's made of polycarbonate and you could crack it or break it. Just firm. If you need to move these eyelets, you can loosen this bolt right here and slide the eyelet up and down on the fender holder. Mine are just about perfect. All right, now it's time to install our front wheel. First, we will remove the spacer inside the brake caliper. There's a little pad spacer in there that you want to remove. And we'll unscrew the 2 axle nuts and make sure that the washers are coming out with them. These washers fit in a space in the fork and keep the wheel in even if it's loose. Then, holding my nuts and my washers, I'm just going to pop that fork up. I'll usually give a little pressure with my leg. Make sure that the wheel is all the way up in the dropouts. I'm going to finger tighten these. And then I've finished them with a 15 millimeter. If you have any trouble with this step, you may have forgotten to remove this pad spacer, or your rotor may not be totally lined up and going in between the pads. So make sure and watch your disc rotor as you install that. Your axle nuts you'll want to be quite tight. At this step, I'll spin my wheel, make sure that my disc rotor is not rubbing. Listen for any rub in the brake caliper. Also make sure that my tire is not rubbing anywhere on my fender. If it is, you can adjust the eyelet here and our sliding eyelets here. I have a little bit of rub on my disc, which is normal. At this point, you'll want to make sure that your rotor is straight. You don't see any wobbles. And I'm going to show you a trick for a hydraulic brake. I'm going to loosen these two bolts that hold the disc brake caliper to the fork. Once they're loose, I'm going to pull my brake and hold it and tighten them while I'm holding the brake. Release. And then I should have no rub. Next, we're going to install the pedals. The pedals will be marked with an R and an L for right and left on the spindle. And you'll notice that on the Cosmo, we also marked the crank arm with an R and an L for right and left. It's always from a rider's perspective on the bike. Make sure not to get the wrong pedal on the wrong crank arm. We're going to start with the right-hand pedal. It threads to the right. And the left pedal threads the same way, to the right, from that same perspective. I always start pedals by hand, so as not to over-tighten or ruin threads. Then I'll make sure and use a wrench at the end, once I know I have the threads started well. And then there's a fun trick you can use. Grab a 15mm wrench or a pedal wrench, put it in the non-drive side, grab the spindle of the other one and pedal backwards. And it should be tight. You want your pedals to be quite tight. I also put a little bit of poly lube or grease on the threads. Next steps, I'm gonna air up my tires, make sure my back brake doesn't rub, and if it does, I'll loosen the bolts holding it to the bike and do the same trick I showed you for the front wheel. Pulling the brake, tightening the bolts, spinning the wheel, making sure no rotor's bent or out of shape. The PSI will be on the sidewall here. On this tire, I believe it's 22 to 60 PSI. It has a range. You won't want to go above the max. I like a nice 40 PSI for a tire like this. I'll do the same for the front. Next step, I would just check my shifting, pedal the bike and change the physical gears and make sure that every one click, the chain only moves one gear. The Shimano 8-speed and 7-speed systems come pretty dialed right out of the box. That one looks good. I'm gonna power on my bike and just make sure it turns on and that the battery shows life. If needed, you can charge your battery while you're building the bike. You can use the keys to remove it to make it lighter weight and easier to handle as well. Next, I'm gonna lower my bike to the ground and make some final adjustments and tightening to the handlebar and the stem, and then I'll be ready to ride. I'll throw down the kickstand just so I don't have to hold the bike up. And then I want my handlebar to have a nice amount of rise and a little bit of back sweep. And if it doesn't, then I will adjust where it sits in the stem, like so. And then I'm going to tighten my stem bolts. You can see the recommended torque in the owner's manual on our website at magnumbikes.com. You'll want these stem bolts to be nice and tight. Next, I'm going to check that my stem looks straight, in line with the wheel. If not, I will loosen these two pinch bolts here. 1, 2. Align my stem, and then tighten these back down. This stem is adjustable with tools. There's a full video on how to adjust it on our YouTube channel. Next, I'm going to probably remove my keys so I don't lose them. Make sure that everything else is tight and where I want it to be. And now I'm gonna go for a ride. If you have any problems or questions during the build process, feel free to reach out to our support team. You can find us at magnumbikes.com, and there you can also find the owner's manual and technical specs for your bike.